Hi everyone, NWA Prepper here, coming at you from the grocery store where everyone is courteous, they're kind, they're proficient drivers, they pay attention to their surroundings, they do things like stop at stop signs, use their signals, just normal, everyday, everybody must do this driving. Or, that's not where I was, because people don't know how to drive, and I'm not the best. I'm certainly not the best. I am making a video as I drive, so I have no room to talk about some of that stuff. For instance, I went to the inside lane. I just did an illegal lane change. Anyway, I was at the grocery store, and I was just picking up a few items that I wanted to bless my family with. Nothing crazy. It's been a crazy day. Tomorrow's going to be a really busy day. And so, for my wife, my wonderful, beautiful wife, I picked her up some flowers. Yellow is her favorite color. And even though budgets are tight, I planned ahead. I chose today and didn't eat lunch. And I saved that money so I could buy my wife some flowers, and I will trim them and put them in a vase of water at our house, and I will just leave them there for her to notice or to not notice. She'll notice. She's wonderful like that. And some of the other things that I did, since there's another light, is Louisiana hot sauce. I am not a super spicy fan. I like a little bit of spice, but I think it will store for a while, and they were having a pretty decent sale on it. So I bought 3 of those containers. I don't know what size they are, and I'm not going to look right now. That size. And I bought 3 of them. One would last at my house. It would last me as long as it would last, as long as it lasts. So if it's good for 5 years, it'll last me 5 years. I'm going to do some research and see what the shelf life is of it, which I know I should have done before I started this video. And if one's going to last me the whole shelf life of the container, why did I buy 3 of them? Well, one of the reasons that I bought 3 of them is, number one, they were very inexpensive, and my prepping budget for the last month or two and the unforeseeable future is really, really tight. Tight. So I found them. I know that I like it. I know that I use it, and I can think of recipes that I use it in. And one of those recipes is one of my prepper staples. It's a chili. It's chili, and I use some in that, and I like to put it on some eggs. Not like some people dump it on there, and a lot of people around me, particularly those in my mag group, like a little spice in some of their food. And I have seen a couple of them put it on in their beans for sure. One of them uses it in his rice and bean mixture that we eat sometimes. And then I've seen another one of my Mag Group members who puts it in just about everything. And so for $2, I could have a new jar at home because I went looking for it because my jar at home is almost out. It has, just a little bit left in the jar. So it has 1 or 2 uses left. And so I was shopping for it already. It was on sale, so I picked up a couple extra that I will put into the container for my next time I go out to my bug out location 1 or 2. And I will take a jar out there to augment the spices and stuff that we have out there for our long-term stuff. And if I find out later this evening that it doesn't store very long or doesn't store past a certain time, I'll just put that on my checklist that in 3/4 of the time that it's usually good for, and I don't mean the expiration date, I mean when it goes bad, then I'll rotate it around, or next time we go to a mag meeting and be like, hey, this needs rotated, you eat a lot more of it than I do, here you go. And we'll get that into rotation. Because it's not something I don't have too much hot sauce of any kind in storage other than some little Tabasco brand hot sauce that's in our MREs and just laying around. So we're augmenting the seasoning or the kick of our preps because it was something I was going to buy anyway and it was on sale. I did not buy 100 of them. Well, I couldn't, but I wouldn't have anyway. I would have bought, I probably, had I had the money, I have money, had I had it budgeted for prepping, I probably would have picked up 3 more, and that way I could have taken a jar everywhere that I try to stash stuff to augment each one of them equally so that I know if it's something at one, I probably got it at the other, and that just works out the best for me to try to do that evenly across the board. What kind of extra things or condiments do you either keep the ingredients to produce or do you have for your long-term storage? Put some thought into it. Now, some things aren't going to keep very well, particularly once they're opened, but some things will. So look it up, spend some time, do some research, and if it's something that you use, then pick up a couple extra when they're on a good sale and put them in your long-term storage. If you don't use Louisiana hot sauce, I'm not saying I wouldn't store 1 or 2 for guests or for the rest of the group, but I wouldn't spend my $2 on something that we don't enjoy, we don't eat, we don't regularly use, because it just sits there and goes bad. And I don't want that. I can't afford that. You can't afford that. That's like if you're buying beans and rice, you need to be eating beans and rice. I am all about, 100% all about building up a little bit at a time and getting to a level you're comfortable with, and then getting another, like if you're doing buckets, get your 5 buckets of each or your 10 buckets of each before you crack that first bucket in, the first one you got, before you crack it up and start and start using it as your for your meal preps or for your meals. You need to be doing that. I also understand you not wanting to open your long-term storage food because you don't have a lot of it. Well, set a level, make a benchmark for when I have 3 buckets of rice and 3 buckets of beans, or whatever that number is for you. And then you start using that. Go to the first one out, and then you replenish it. And if you're like me, you've got to replenish, a pound or 2 at a time. That's totally fine, as long as you're replenishing it. And plus, that way when times are tight, I don't mean after the balloon goes up, then then you've got, you have rice and beans that's already open or already ready to be open for you to eat. Excuse me, guys. For you to eat and not be hungry. So thanks for watching. I really do want you to get ready for emergencies. And I've been talking a lot about food and first aid lately. There's lots of other subjects for you to worry about or to prepare for. And get out there and see what you think you need to be doing, what you're feeling, and get to where you need to be. Thanks everyone for watching. I really am glad you're here. And if there's questions you have or comments, let me know. Put them down below. That's what that comment section's for. So I'm fixing to get out and be out of phone range for a little while. Thanks for watching, and remember, let's get ready.